There is no love but God's. What's good, fam? We made it to lesson 127 of A Course in Miracles. We're going to be studying this lesson today, and we are going to begin right now. So go ahead and open up your book. If you don't got the book yet, the PDF is in the description, and let's go ahead and begin. Lesson 127. There is no love but God's. Perhaps you think that different kinds of love are possible. Perhaps you think there is a kind of love for this, a kind of love for that, a way of loving one, another way of loving still another. Love is one. It has no separate parts and no degrees, no kinds nor levels, no divergencies, and no distinctions. It is like itself, unchanged throughout. It never alters with a person or a circumstance. It is the heart of God and also of His Son, which is me and you. Now, today we are going to discuss more in depth love on a level that will help us understand it like we've never understood it before. And I just thought I would mention that right now, what most people are living is a conditional love, meaning they are looking for certain types of love, like it states right here, outside of themselves. And that's the first flawed premise, is that you're going to find what you are outside. You can't find something out there that you don't know exists within as well. So if we're looking outside for love, it's conditional. Therefore, it's not the love that's being described here. That's just conditional love. That is not real love. That is fear. But the love that we are discussing today is powerful, because we're going to understand, and like it states right here, there's no degrees, no separate parts. There is none of that. There is only one, and that is the one that we are all a part of. Let's continue. Love's meaning is obscure to anyone who thinks that love can change. He does not see that changing love must be impossible, and thus he thinks that he can love at times and hate at other times. He also thinks that love can be bestowed on one and yet remain itself, although it is withheld from others. To believe these things of love is not to understand it. If it could make such distinctions, it would have to judge between the righteous and the sinner, and perceive the Son of God in separate parts. This is powerful stuff right here. And at this moment in time, I am unable to express the fullness of the amount of love that this is conveying. So we're just going to stick with the text today, with the lesson, and I will do my best to put in my 2 cents. But this is something here that is going to take some practice to really absorb and learn that there is no distinctions between love. One thing that I do want to say is there is something that we all do where we feel like there's this one perfect individual for us, and we are going to love that individual. They are the love of our lives, whoever that may be for you. And you think that you're going to get all your love from that person. So you're basically that you're giving all that power to that person, all that power to them, because your love is dependent upon them. Now you feel needy. Now you feel like you need that person, because you're not seeing the love that is right beneath your level of awareness all around you. There is so much love around us, and we can't perceive it all the time because we have walls and blocks and barriers up in our perception that is causing us not to be able to be the recipients of all that love. But because we're not getting all that love, and another way of saying it is because we are not aware of all the love that we are as who God created, we are looking for it outside of ourselves, and we think that we're going to find it in certain places. And that fact right there is, again, a tactic of the ego. Remember, the ego's doctrine is seek but do not find. So that individual is finally going to come and you're going to feel needy and dependent on that love whenever it is all around 24/7, all day, every day. So let's continue, but I just thought that I would mention that love cannot judge, as it is one itself. It looks on all as one. Its meaning lies in oneness, and it must elude the mind that thinks of it as partial or in part. There is no love but God's, and all of love is His. There is no other principle that rules where love is not. Love is a law without an opposite. Its wholeness is the power holding everything as one, the link between the Father and the Son, which holds them both forever as the same. No course whose purpose is to teach you to remember what you really are could fail to emphasize that there can never be a difference in what you really are and what love is. Me and you are love, and there is no difference between who we really are and love. Love is a perfect word to describe who we really are. And at this moment in time, we most likely don't understand that word right now because it's been used in so many ways that has degraded its meaning in this world. We've heard love and it means nothing at this point because we've heard it so many times. We're not even sure what it means. We don't even understand the fullness and comprehend what love is. And we are being reminded here that that is what all is. All is love. All is okay. All is love and light. You are, I am, and so is everyone else out there, and so is everything, because there is God, there is source, and then everything else emerges forth from that. But because God is love, everything else that emerges forth from that must also be love. And anything that is not love simply does not exist. No course whose purpose is to teach you to remember what you really are could fail to emphasize that there can never be a difference in what you really are and what love is. Love's meaning is your own and shared by God Himself. For what you are is what He is. There is no love but His, and what He is everything there is. God is everything. God is all that is expressing itself in all its different ways. All aspects of creation are one with God. Me and you are one with and a part of God, and we are a different aspect of that, which we call God, expressing out that love. And we can either at any given moment in time express the fullness of that love, or we can deny that love. We can close off the amount of love that we are allowing to flow through our source and our being, but we can never fully obliterate that love, because love is who we are. Love is what you are, and you could experience that 24/7, all day, every day, by understanding that it's all around you. Or you can build up barriers and walls towards love and not be able to perceive it and think that you are lacking something. But the only thing that can be lacking in any situation is what we are not giving. Therefore, if we feel like we are lacking love or anything for that matter, we are simply not giving love or whatever it is that we feel like we're lacking. And the Son of God, which is you, cannot lack anything. You cannot be apart from what it is that you desire. You are one with all aspects of creation, here to experience that different aspect of yourself. That is who you are. And this is a state of being that I'm hoping you are here with me right now, because no words can describe or convey an experience, although they can do their best to explain it. It's an experience that must be held by the perspective, which is you. You must experience this because this is who you are. And whenever we are not experiencing this, it does not mean that it is not absent. It just means that we have some false perceptions that are up right now that are blocking us from seeing the love that we can be getting from all the people around us, all the love that is with all the stuff we have in our life right now. The current life we have right now is beautiful and love. The people that are in our lives right now are beautiful and love. The career is love. The amount of money, love. Everything that is around you right now is love. And I know at some points in times it may not appear that way, but it is. And the only reason why it doesn't appear that way is not because love is not there and absent, but it is because we have, as powerful creators, made images that are blocking us from perceiving the love that is really there. Let's go ahead and continue, but we will discuss this more as we go along to the best of our ability. There is no love but his, and what he is everything there is. There is no limit placed upon himself, and so are you, unlimited as well. No law the world obeys can help you grasp love's meaning. What the world believes was made to hide love's meaning and to keep it dark and secret. Remember, that is me and you. Quick little recap are love and light. There is God up here, there is the oneness, and it bursted out into many, and we are all that love and light. And me and you had that tiny little idea of, I wonder what it would be like to be separate from our creator, from our source. I wonder what it would be like to be separate from each other. I wonder what it would be like to be separate. And we entertained that thought, and our minds, although we didn't really change nothing in reality, because what God created is changeless and unalterable, we believe that we have, which is just as powerful as actually changing something. Because although we didn't change nothing in truth, we changed our minds of being in love to separation. And that's exactly what the ego is. It's that belief that I am something other than what God created. The ego is that belief that me and you are something other than what God created, that we are separate from God and all that is. And this body that we are currently inhabiting right now is the outward representation of that belief. Remember, the body's eyes only see separation. It only sees separate things and separate stuff in the world of illusion, because that's what they were made for. Because me and you wandered off and wanted to see what it would be like to be separate, we got our wish. This body is that wish, and now we see with the body's eyes separateness. And together, before we get there, whenever we got here in this world, like it states right here, this world, what the world believes was made to hide love's meaning and to keep it dark and secret. Because remember, me and you are love and light. We had that little curious idea. This ego took on a belief system of its own. It created a world of its own, and now it's in control. It actually believes that it is something other than what God created. We literally think that this is who we are, and it's been perpetuating its own existence. This tiny little ego, this tiny little belief system has been continuously, with effort, perpetuating its existence, seeing separateness outside of itself to keep its self alive. If we could even call it alive, it is not really there. It's just a belief system. This little belief system, this ego, and it is wanting to hide love. Like I say, the world believes what the world believes was made to hide love's meaning and to keep it dark and secret, because the ego knows that there is something out there more powerful than it, and it is love, which means that it had to outwardly project a world where love seemed to be absent, so that way it could reign, it could be in control, and it could see an outward depiction of its existence and continuously, with effort, justify its existence, that I am something other than what God created. It is doing so insanely. Me and you have been following this guide. Me and you have been identifying with this guide our entire life. Me and you have been identifying with this body our entire life. And me and you have been believing that we are going to find love outside of ourselves, not knowing that love is who we are, and love is literally emerging forth from everywhere all around us. But we can't perceive it because we think that we're this body, and we think that this air right here, we think that there's nothing here. We think that there's empty space right here, when really this air, if you just take a minute to breathe, that is love. And it is beneath our level of awareness, because we are looking at the things that appear to be we are looking at the things that appear to be separating us, and that the air that seems to be so invisible, it is love. That is who you are. And it seems to be in between me and that thing over there, when really it is all one. If you were able to comprehend the amount of love that is being flooded right now around you 24/7, you would understand that, first of all, I am not separate. I am one with a part of all aspects of creation. And anytime I believe that I am not receiving any amount of love from anyone or anything, I am really not receiving love from myself. Therefore, I can't get it from anywhere outside of me, because I'm not going to find it out there. I can only receive what I give. And if I am not giving love, that must mean that I must not be receiving love either. Therefore, if I want love, I should probably be giving more love to people instead of hate and judgment and jealousy, because I'm receiving more of that, it seems like, is what we say whenever we're looking for love outside of ourselves. That's kind of the dialogue that goes on, is I feel like I'm receiving lack of love. And the only reason why that is because we are giving lack of love, which is fear. Fear is the lack of love, the absence of love. It is nothing within itself. It is just the absence of all that is. Now, that is what we have been believing our entire lives, and who knows how many lives we've had because we haven't really caught on to this yet. Remember, that the belief in time is simply just that. It is a belief. Time really does not exist. God created eternity, meaning no end, no beginning. Me and you have always been and are right now and will forever be. But because me and you have been in this world where time seems to be real, therefore it's become such a strong belief in our belief system, we think that it is going to take time before me and you can find the love that we are looking for, when really time does not really exist. That is also a belief that me and you are dismantling as we go on throughout our practice periods. But you are free whenever you release the belief of time, because now you know that whatever it is that you desire is yours right now in this instant. There is no time between where you are and where you desire to be. Remember, you are not this body, and this body was meant to cause you not to allow you not to perceive love. This world, one more time and then we'll continue. What the world believes was made to hide love's meaning, and so was the body, and to keep it dark and secret. Let's continue. There is not one principle the world upholds, but violates the truth of what love is, and what you are as well. Because remember, the world was made by me and you to be a place where we believe separation actually exists. And me and you insanely believe that if we make a mistake here, that we've actually made a mistake and done something wrong in truth, and we really haven't. It is just an error. It is an error that can be corrected in our minds. That is the only place that it needs to be corrected. Because keep this in mind, we've said this a few times before. The Course states this somewhere in the text, but it states that all thoughts must return to their source. Now, me and you are thought in the mind of God, which means that we must return, and what God's will is already done, meaning we are there right now. We are safe and sound. We are there right now. We have done nothing in truth. This is all just a belief. Now, if we go ahead and break this down even more, me and you, being created in the likeness and image of God, are also creators, meaning any thought that we think must also return to its sender, meaning me and you. So if we think a fearful thought, it returns to us. And remember, time is irrelevant. It is just a belief, meaning if I give you fear, instantaneously it's going to come back to me. Although it may come back in this world a week or a month later in a form that makes me feel the same way that I emitted that out. For example, if I make someone feel not enough, and then a week later someone does the same thing to me when I least expect it, and it makes me feel that same way, if I were aware and I seen the correlation between how I feel and how I made that other individual feel, I will understand that I manifested, if you will, that experience to come upon me. Because in that moment when I gave the fear, although it may seem like a week later it came back at me, it really came back at me the instant I gave that fear, because time is only a belief system and we are not contained by it. Time is a belief that me and you believe in, and as long as we believe in it, we are going to believe we are bound by something outside of ourselves. Now, because all thoughts must return to the sender, they are, remember, what you give, you receive, and you receive it now. So they return, but they don't return a week or a month later. They return the instant you send it off. Meaning, if I give you love right now, I receive it simultaneously. And if I give someone judgment right now, or fear, or guilt, or irritation, or anger, I am simultaneously receiving that, because all thoughts must return to their sender. You cannot give something without receiving it that instant yourself. And that's exactly why what the world was made for, to keep love's meaning secret and dark, and that is what the body was made for. And me and you are here to unlearn that flawed belief system, and dismantle the ego's thought system that the world is bound by, so we can transcend that, and we can be free, and we can be who we really are. Because for the majority of our lives, we have been anything but that. We have been this image that me and you think we are from time to time. This body, we have been identifying with the ego, but because we have been enlightened for the past few months, if you will, during these sessions, and we have been practicing this state of transcendence, then it's going to become so much more apparent. Everything we've been discussing is going to become more apparent. It is going to become more solidified, and this belief system that we are learning will no longer appear like a belief system, but it will finally be recognized as truth, because what we are discussing here does not need to be defended against. This is just how things work. This is not a belief system. What we're discussing right now is not a belief. This is just simply how things work. And me and you have made beliefs that caused us to forget what is, but we never really changed what is. We just believed what is not. Therefore, we can't see what is, which is love. There is not one principle the world upholds, but violates the truth of what love is and what you are as well. Seek not within the world to find yourself with the capital S, which is who you really are. Do not seek within the world to find yourself. You will not find it there. Love is not found in darkness and in death. Yet it is perfectly apparent to the eyes that see and ears that hear love's voice. Today, we practice making free your mind of all the laws you think you must obey, of all the limits under which you live, and all the changes that you think are part of human destiny. Today, we take the largest single step in this course request. We take the largest single step this course requests in your advance towards its established goal. Me and you are on lesson 127 today, and this is a powerful lesson. This is one of the, it states right here, the largest single step that the course requests. So this is a powerful lesson, and although we understand it to whatever degree we do right now, if we come back to this lesson a week from now, we are going to understand it even more than we do right now, because we will have had more time in this world, if you will, and experience and remembrance that whenever we come here, we will view it differently. There's a quote, I'm not sure where it's from, but it states, whenever you read a book for a second time, you do not see something new in the book that was not there before. You see something new within yourself. Meaning, if I am reading Power of Awareness, or I am reading A Course in Miracles right now, and I'm reading it, I am going to see who I am. I'm reading, and I am reading from my current perspective. Now, let's just say we come back a year from now, and I'm a different person, because I have grown and evolved in this world. I have remembered more. I have unlearned more that caused me to be a new individual. And I come back and read the same words. The ink didn't rearrange itself, obviously, but because I see something that catches my attention this time that didn't catch my attention before, it's because I have evolved. Therefore, I am on a higher level of awareness. Therefore, I can perceive everything that I am observing, whether it's a book or anything in the world, with a higher level of awareness. Meaning, although me and you see the world like we do, and we understand love to the extent to which we do right now, we're understanding this lesson to the extent to which we do right now. If we come back a year from now, this lesson will be so much more powerful, not because it changed, but because me and you did. Today, we practice making free your mind. Yes, powerful. Today, we will take the largest single step this course requests in your advance towards its established goal. If you achieve the faintest glimmering of what love means today, you have advanced in distance without measure and in time beyond the count of years to your release. And I love that it says count of years to your release, and even in previous lessons it said thousands of years. It kind of gets you thinking, how long have remember, I am not this body, you are not that body. How long have me and you, the love and light, been asleep, identified with this belief system, coming back and forth into these bodies, one after the next, undoing all our fear? Now, the Course never talks about reincarnation, but it definitely implies that, and I'm sure you've caught on to that by now, but it kind of gets you thinking, because I am not this body, and because I have made this image for myself that I think I am, and it's talking about it's saved me thousands of years and eons in time, how much time has it taken me to finally get to this level of understanding and awareness of who I really am? Like, that's really a good question that we should ask ourselves when we finally return to where we really are. Let's continue. Let us together, then, be glad to give some time to God today and understand there is no better use for time than this. For 15 minutes twice today, escape from every law in which you now believe. Open your mind and rest. The world that seems to hold you prisoner can be escaped by anyone who does not hold it dear. Me and you have escaped, and it's okay. We might go back into the world and the prison that we've made for ourselves when we go our separate ways, due to this not being something that we're anchored in yet, meaning we are going to fall asleep. Something out there that we still believe is going to trigger us and cause us to go back to sleep. It's okay. That's okay, because now we know where to go and we know where to look for truth to return to where our power is. It states right here one more time, the world that seems to hold you prisoner can be escaped by anyone who does not hold it dear. In this moment, we do not hold the world dear because we see it for what it really is, which is just a very consistent illusion that we have all agreed upon. It is nothingness, it is all dust, and it is not really here, but only in our imagination. Now, me and you have been held prisoner because of ourselves in this world that we think that we are a part of, and in this moment, because we do not hold it dear, we are free. Now, whenever we hold it dear again, meaning we are attached to certain outcomes, we are attached to what people say or don't say, we are attached to what people do or don't do, our love is conditional and our happiness is conditional based upon what's going on out there, we are prisoner because we have given our power to everyone and everything other than ourselves. And again, we can't really do that, but the belief that we can is just as powerful as actually giving that power to them. Let's continue. Withdraw all value you have placed upon its meager offerings and senseless gifts, because you have placed all of its value on it. Remember, lesson 1, nothing I see means anything. Lesson 2, I have given everything I see all the meaning it has for me. I have given this vehicle, I have given this individual right here, I have given this number in my bank account, I have given this body that I see in the mirror every day all the value that it has for me. I have placed all the value on everything that I see, and I am going to today withdraw that value, because the gift of God replaces them all. Whenever I understand that the gift of God is who I am, I understand that I am already whole, love, and light, and need nothing outside in order to be who I already am. Remember, the the work that we're doing here is not a journey. It may appear like it, but remember, in one instant, somebody could reawaken and be in their right mind and be like, whoa, I've been dreaming. You've like something along the lines of that, although they don't say those words. That's what could happen in one instant. That's all it takes. One tiny little moment, a nanosecond, and somebody could be identified with the ego and just be bursting out in tears in a revelation of the remembrance of who they really are. That does not require a journey, because this is a journey without distance. You do not have to do anything to be who you already are. All we must do is remove any blocks of the awareness, not even remove them, but just not be aware of them for a little second. Just put them away, put down all the flawed belief systems for just a few seconds, and we will be able to experience a glimpse of this love and light. Now, what me and you have been doing is a little bit beyond that. We have been experiencing this moment for longer than glimpses now, and we have been experiencing what it feels like to be in this state of mind for 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day. Yesterday was an hour, and different time periods in this world anyways of being in this state of mind have caused our belief systems to begin to adopt this way of thinking and make it easier for us every time we think these thoughts, because we have built again those neural pathways in our minds that they're firing and wiring together. Every time we discuss this, it is making it easier and easier for us to be here next time. And same thing goes for fear. Whenever you believe in fear or worry, doubt, jealousy, etc., not enoughness, you are firing and wiring those neural pathways, making it easier for you to perceive in that way as well. It's easier to be thinking fearful thoughts because the whole entire world is based on a thought system of fear, which means that it's taking a little bit of effort for me and you to remain in this state of mind. But until we do this enough times to where it no longer takes effort, we are going to be right here together and make sure that our number one priority is to make this state of mind autopilot, unconscious competence. We are going to be here without effort, without haste, because this is, again, who we really are. And whenever we experience anything other than this that we would deem as adversity or contrast, it's a great thing, a very, very, very great thing, because it gives me and you the opportunity to identify what it is that we really do want. Remember, me and you are expanding, evolving beings. We cannot help but evolve, because all that is continuously expanding and evolving. Meaning, whenever we're in the state of mind and we experience what we would deem as contrast and adversity, we are going to not look at that as a bad situation. Although other people around you may deem that as bad, you are going to say, you know what, this situation that just occurred right now that I may not have preferred is a great thing, because in this adversity lies a seed of a greater benefit, and I am going to be the recipient of that greater benefit by focusing all my attention on the outcome that this situation that occurred caused me to know more clearly what I do want. In other words, I know that I'm experiencing this thing I would not prefer, therefore I know more clearly that I would prefer ... and then name what it is that this experience caused you to come to the conclusion of, and then focus all your attention on its attainment, because it is here and now. Remember, me and you are not bound by time no more, because we have transcended that belief. We may fall back asleep and be bound by it again due to our entire life we've been thinking that thought. We've been firing and wiring neural pathways that make that thought easier for us to believe than truth. But it's okay, because us right here and now together are planting seeds that are taking root, and they are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and soon, again, this beautiful garden in our minds has sprung forth, because all the weeds that we have been growing in our gardens are becoming no longer nothing at all. They are withering away and dying, because we have finally decided to direct our attention in the direction of truth, where all of the love that we have been describing in this lesson is, and it's right here and right now. No time is necessary in order for this state of mind to be experienced. it is only a matter of time in this world to make this a habit, so that way this is all that you experience. Call to your Father, certain that his voice will answer. He himself has promised this, and he himself will place a spark of truth within your mind wherever you give up a false belief. Powerful. A dark illusion of your own reality and what love means. He will shine through your idle thoughts today and help you understand the truth of love. In loving gentleness, he will abide with you as you allow his voice to teach love's meaning to your clean and open mind, and he will bless the lesson with his love. I do want to mention something we talked about yesterday. God's voice, his voice to teach love's meaning to your clean and open mind. An open mind is another way of saying open mind would be teachable. Me and you, like we discussed yesterday, are teachable in this moment because we have an open mind, and because that qualification is met, now God can go ahead and bless us with lessons because we are willing to learn and willing to accept change, meaning we are willing to accept changing our thought system from fear to one of love. If we're not willing to do that because of whatever insane reason, then we cannot learn at that moment in time, because in order to be teachable, remember, willing to learn, willing to accept change. And if one of those variables is not met, then learning is not going to be present. Another way of saying it is, to the degree you are teachable, and to the degree you are willing to learn, and to the degree you are willing to accept change, is going to be what your teachability index is. Let's continue. Today, the legion of the future years of waiting for salvation disappears before the timelessness of what you learn. Let us give thanks today that we are spared a future like the past. Today, we leave the past behind us, nevermore to be remembered, and we raise our eyes upon a different present, where a future dawns unlike the past in every attribute. The world in infancy is newly born, and we will watch it grow in health and strength, to shed its blessing upon all who come to learn to cast aside the world they thought was made in hate, to be love's enemy. Now are they all made free along with us. Now are they all our brothers in God's love. We will remember them throughout the day, because we cannot leave a part of us outside our love if we would know our self with a capital S, i.e., who we really are. Now I'm going to read this sentence one more time, and I want us both to really pay attention and highlight it if necessary, because this is a powerful sentence. Me and you will remember them throughout the day, because we cannot leave a part of us, our love, outside our love, if we would know who we really are. One more time. Me and you will remember the individuals who are not in the state of mind with us right now. We will remember them throughout the day, because we cannot leave a part of ourselves outside of our love if we would know who we really are. Meaning, if there's anybody out there that you have not forgiven, goes back to forgiveness always, because forgiveness is your function as the light of the world. Anybody out there that you know you still hold minor grievances upon, even if it may seem so small, remember, size and distance and variety and proportions and all that does not exist in oneness. It is only one, meaning all upsets are equally disturbing to your peace of mind. Meaning, although you have this one individual over here who you have a major grievance to that you feel like you can never forgive because they did something so heinous. And then you have another individual over here who did this tiny little minor thing that just upsets you. This tiny little thing that upsets you is equally as disturbing as this one that appears to be bigger in this world, because they're equally disturbing to your peace of mind. If you do not have a whole undivided mind due to this tiny little irritation, then you still are not able to experience the full amount of love that is waiting for you. You're not able to experience the love that you are, because you have left a part of yourself outside of the love, and that is causing you and hindering you from knowing who you really are. Meaning, it's important for me and you to make sure we blast everyone and everything that cross our paths with love. We don't have to say nothing to them if we don't feel led to, but we must in our minds just transmit that love outward. Just vibrate that love outward towards them, transmit it outward, and the more powerful we do it, the more we will receive. Because remember, what you give, you are receiving yourself. Meaning, you should, instead of driving your car wherever you're going and you're just mindlessly thinking whatever illusion thoughts, you can be blasting every single car on the road with love and light, because you are doing it for yourself, not in a selfish way, because everyone also is being the receivers of that love, whether they're aware of it or not on a conscious level. But you are giving that, therefore you are also receiving it yourself, and you are becoming more aware in that moment by remembering that you are the love and light of the world. This is some powerful stuff that we are learning here, and the more we go on about practicing this state of mind, the more energy we will be able to emit and direct and control, and we will gain more power, because it is here. We just have been letting it kind of disperse outward in many different directions, and as a result of that, nothing is really occurring that would be of dramatic difference. But because we have limited the amount of places our attention is going, especially in the world of illusion, and we're directing all of it towards one goal, one unified thought system, which is love, then you are going to see in the next few days how powerful you become due to your ability to focus this powerful tool of yours. Me and you, in our mind training so far, have become such great transmitters and receivers of energy. I'm not saying we're fully there yet, and we will never be fully there, because there is no goalpost. That evolution that I was just talking about a few minutes ago is something that's constantly evolving, and me and you, in order to be who we really are, must evolve all the time and keep up with that constant expansion of who we are. And it's easy when you get the hang of it, because you know that you know that you are love and light, and who you really are is evolving 24/7, all day, every day, because love is always expanding and evolving. Now, whenever you feel that love, you are keeping up with that expansion, and whenever you feel like you are anything other than love, there is a gap that you have imposed between who you think you are and who you really are, and therefore you feel that gap that you have imposed through the indicator of emotions, which is why we discuss emotions a lot here. It's important for me and you to be aware of our emotional guidance system, because whenever we're aware that we feel at peace, we understand that we are being one with who God created, and we are keeping up with that expansion. And whenever we feel worry, doubt, or fear, or any form that upset may take, we are simply hallucinating, seeing something that is not really there, and as a result, there is blocks up that are hindering us from receiving the love that is all around us. Remember, love may appear to take many different forms in this world, but it is really only one, because everything that we see is an aspect of creation that all emerges forth from the one, which we've been calling God here. We could call it source. We could call it whatever it is that pleases you, but just know that what we call it is irrelevant, because what we call it does not change what it is, and does not change what me and you are. Let's continue. We will remember them throughout the day, because we cannot leave a part of us outside our love if we would know ourself. At least 3 times an hour, think of one who makes the journey with you, and who came to learn what you must learn. Remember, we're all here together. If they have a body, we're here together to learn and to be outrageously joyous all the time. This is our state of mind. As he comes to mind, give him this message from yourself, i.e., who you really are. I'm sure you know this by now, but anytime you see a capital S in the course, it is referring to who you really are. And anytime you see the word self with a little s, it is referring to the ego, the self that we think we are from time to time, that self that we made apart from God. And keep in mind that any capitalized word in the course is implying truth of any sort. Whenever it states God with a capital G, it states truth with a capital T, creation with a capital C. Just keep that in mind if you were not aware of that already. And as he comes to mind, give him this message from yourself. I bless you, brother, with the love of God, which I would share with you, for I would learn the joyous lesson that there is no love but God's and yours and mine and everyone's. Let's read that a few more times. You bless you, brother, with the love of God, which you would share with him, for you would learn the joyous lesson that there is no love but God's and his and yours and everyone's. One more time. Me and you bless our brother with the love of God, which we would share with him, for we would learn the joyous lesson that there is no love but God's and his and ours and everyone's. There is only one love, and it is the love of God. And the lesson to conclude today is there is no love but God's. That is it. Although it may appear in this world, it takes many different forms. It is the same love. The form of the love may be different depending on the individual you are with, but it is all the same love, because love is one, love is God, and love is who me and you are. Now, that is a great place to conclude today's lesson, and we will meet here again tomorrow for lesson 128 of A Course in Miracles. I will see you soon.